players.
And here's the countdown, and we'll be underway.
Whoop. So JB definitely looking to win this one as well. He'd love to get that championship point. And he had a good game against Razor, although I I thought Razor was gonna maybe take that one from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's been put on notice now, so I'm sure he's on his A
Mm-hmm.
game for this match. Starting with quite a rough top line, almost only
Yeah.
5 red viruses, all at the bottom, no access at the start whatsoever. So he's just gonna have to manage red garbage for probably like the first half, 3/4 of this level, to be honest. But
And
on yeah,
speaking of red, yeah, Ramsey just made an amazing red cross down the left-hand side of the board. And yeah, he's basically, aside from this one in column one, everything's a little bit buried in terms of red. So he's clearing out
mhm.
pretty
the
quickly.
the double-edged sword of super awesome
Hmm.
clears, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. And so he's got an 8 virus lead on JB right now, although it is getting a little bit tricky to try to figure out this board, which is very horizontal for Ramsey right now. Oh my gosh, look at how much
Wow, that
yellow
was
and blue.
yeah, that was a great tuck. Still very redless on this board, both players, honestly. So it's the yellow and blue
Mm.
show now for both of them.
Yeah, it looks like JB might be thinking about setting up to clear the yellow horizontally and drop some stuff down on top, although seems to be maybe changing his mind there. Oh, does go for the horizontal, but that yellow pill half, I hope it doesn't come back to haunt him because he's got so much yellow here.
Hmm. Looks like JB's behind by about 4 viruses, but honestly, given both their boards, I don't think the
Mhm.
virus count even matters nearly as much as just the board health and how these players are going to tackle these, honestly, pretty difficult boards to get through for anyone. Just with the lack of red, they're going to have to make sure they're using their garbage strategically because they're just going to have to put reds down where they don't want to.
Mhm. And Ramsey's struggling a little bit with this row 2, because he sort of kept dropping some pills horizontally that leaves the red and the yellow garbage that you see in the center of the board. Because he's definitely signaling that he wants those blues horizontally in row 2, but the red is currently blocking it off.
And he's gonna have to clear it away to get the setup, but he risks blocking the blue underneath unless he takes it horizontally, which he has done. So at this point, it looks like JB, however, is clear on his final virus to get out of 8 at 236, 237. It looks like Ramsey only a couple viruses away.
Oh, and I totally forgot to mention that we are now in levels 8 to 11, right?
That
Did
is
we mention
correct,
that?
yes. I don't believe that we did, but that's correct. Yeah, the finals match, we were playing 8 to 11, so both of our players now on level 9. It's only 3 more levels to finish.
And Ramsey's out at a 307, shaking his head because he knows that level was rough. And, we saw it that whole way down, just not very friendly. But wow, a really nice slide from Ramsey at the beginning to minimize the amount of garbage that he had.
Yeah, absolutely. His level is starting off quite well. JB getting visibly upset at I'm not sure what because that was a pretty good combo, but maybe it's just board health because
Maybe it's the board, yeah. But look at this. He's
yeah.
gonna get a great combo. Beautiful tee, no garbage, so there's only that little bit of garbage in the right hand side. So he's doing pretty well considering how nasty that looked a second ago.
Yeah, his setup has dealt with that situation very well. Now searching for spaces to put these double yellows, hoping for the blues and reds to
Ooh,
clear out that part of
Ramsey,
the board.
what up?
Oh,
Oh my
wow!
God, Ramsey just had an awesome move there. Holy moly.
He is bringing it.
Yes. Good on you, dude. That was amazing. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
he's
Were you saying something?
no, 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 that was way
No, not
cooler
at
than
all.
anything I had to remark on, so that's
Yeah.
totally fine. Uh, but, yeah, now I'm at a loss for words, that's how cool that was. Looks like, JB, though, is actually pulling ahead despite all of that. He's only got, 3 more viruses, all red 2 now, all red, and he's getting the pieces to get out of level 9 and pull ahead here.
Now it looks like Ramsey is also having some statements of his own, talking a little bit, um, maintaining the same the same deficit that he had going in, but this this board health looking better, although I think he's gonna struggle a little bit with the end game. He's sort of throwing away stuff and not knowing quite where to
Yeah,
put it.
I think he had
Yeah.
a specific setup in mind and not getting the
Ah,
exact
okay,
piece he
got it.
wanted. He just was maybe panicking a little bit. Could have maybe done a setup to sort of diversify the pieces he could use, but um, eventually he gets now through it and he's into level 10, not too far behind here.
Mhm. Yeah, so there's about a 10 virus deficit right now. JB working on this top line, not a lot of use for red. And so you can see it's only in column 8, and he'd love to probably use some blue red there, but opts not to. Now the board pretty clean though.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like all throughout the silver bracket, we've just seen a lot of boards that start with very low access to a particular color. Maybe I'm just crazy, maybe, but
Maybe
it
it's
feels like
this
this has been a
game.
common theme today. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about a 12 virus deficit now for Ramsey. He's going to be struggling a little bit with a lack of blue. Notice he clears off that garbage, it's gone. So he's going to have to find a way to get to blue as quickly as possible.
Yeah, same goes for JB. I think he's he's actually doing quite a good job of that right now, but mostly reds, and this double red and red yellow surge here is gonna help him drill down to the last few viruses and get to the end game here.
Ugh, I, I really want some more reds for Ramsey, but he's playing really efficiently right now. That horizontal clear, very good for him.
It's the oh wow, sweet drop T.
Hmm.
Love to see it. Finds the most efficient spot for that double red. Love to see that. It looks like he's doing pretty well. He's just has got to have a tricky end game with all these viruses stacked up in the final column here on the right.
Yeah, but like I'm seeing so much good stuff coming from Ramsey right now. The fact that, for example, he knows to stand pills on end underneath stuff to mitigate drop time. There's a lot of
Mhm,
good little moves that he's making.
mhm,
JB into level 11 at the early 7-minute mark, looking really good, and a lot of combo opportunities here, especially getting some yellow going.
Yeah, he's just trucking through it. It looks like short on red axis here. He's gonna put a double yellow down to try to expose some as soon as possible. But generally speaking, he's making good progress here.
Yeah, and Ramsey out at about a 7:45. So a little more than 20 viruses back, already setting up a horizontal here and some garbage on top of it. So we see the vision coming out from Ramsey, and he's going to make this combo here really nicely done.
Yeah, a great setup. It's difficult, especially when you're sort of just learning how to do it, to make setups that keep the board totally clean, especially when they're that complex. So that's very well done by him.
Hmm. Now, JB's got a really interesting board right now. Notice how A, red blue it is, and B, just sort of everything's over into the right. So that's kind of complicated. Looks like he might have an option for this yellow horizontally. Not he's hesitating right now, not sure to take it.
I think he's hesitating because he doesn't want to block the horizontal potential of
Mhm.
these blues. But given the reds, I think he's just gonna have to,
Yeah.
unfortunately, take them vertically here. Oh no, he refuses,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
actually setting up to get to get a setup here for the last piece on the Reds, and that's it. He's out at 8:53. That's game one to JB.
GG's. Allie Loop says maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's RNG. Nice.
I approve.
I approve. I'm Savage Octagon. I approve this pun.
I thought that was a given.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, just a little redundant for you to say it, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Hmm. So Ramsey working on the end of this level 11. The blue position here is brutal, especially in column 8.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen few boards today that I'd be happy to play in tournaments. So, uh, I mean, seriously, like there's
I know.
so many boards where like the viruses are stacked in column 8, just totally vertical, nothing doubled up horizontally to even help you out a little bit. It's just give you a little guidance maybe. Like this, like look at
Hmm.
this. This sort of an end game is just brutal to have to deal with.
Definitely. And so I think the play, and Ramsey seems to be seeing it, is to take out this red horizontally at the bottom. The double red could be really good for a vertical play, doesn't choose to go for it, but gets another chance at it. Is going to build from underneath on the blue, which is awesome. And then there's one yellow left to clear. So very free and clear for Ramsey to finish out.
And there it is.
Out of
It's
a 1048.
10:48 for Ramsey. Yep. So that'll be game one for JB. He's one win away from taking the silver bracket home, but by no means would I ever count out Ramsey here. Honestly, that was a bit
Hmm.
of quite a bit of a difference in time, I would say. But given the quality of the play that I've seen from him in the rest of this bracket, I have no doubt that this could easily be a decider, if not a reverse sweep.
Yeah, I gotta say that the time difference doesn't really tell the story for me, because
Mm,
looking at some of the combos that Ramsey is working on making, uh, there's a really good player here.
And
There's a really good
as
player.
John Det Flindo was pointing out in the chat, this round for JB was a 57-second improvement on his PB for 8 through 11.
Very
So
nice.
when a player gets a personal best, it's pretty hard to beat that. So yeah, I mean you can't get a PB every game. So I don't think JB's going to be able to win that way again. He's going to have to really bring his A game and hope that Ramsey can't bring it back here because I think he's got a good chance.
While we're waiting here, I want to take a minute and talk about next year and how you can qualify for this tournament if you're just watching it for the first time or you've just been watching us for a little while. So join our Discord. We've had our link going up there from time to time, and you announce that you're going to qualify for the tournament, and you run a 30-minute qualifier starting on level 0. Keep that timer running, and your seed is according to how far you get through the game. And so we've got these players getting to levels 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And yeah, it's a great time. And the 30-minute is not only a great way to determine relative skill, but to practice for all of the level blocks you see here.
Yeah, I would absolutely encourage new players to just give a qualifying run a try, even if you don't think you can make it to the tournament weekend or what have you, or even if you have concerns about your performance or whatever. I would not worry about that. The qualifier has probably the most low pressure way to give it a shot, and
Hmm.
you might be surprised how much you enjoy it.
All right. We have Ramsey restarted his computer. Uh-oh.
Oh, uh-oh.
We have we've had
Oh,
worse hardware issues before, I think. But we are
that's true.
we are seeing Ramsey again.
Well, he seems to be live.
Well, at the Ohio versus tournament, there was a very close game, and someone who shall remain nameless slapped the table, and one of the consoles basically just imploded on itself.
Yes,
So,
we will withhold the names to protect the not so innocent. But yes, that's correct. That is a true thing that happened.
all right, Ramsey hydrating himself. Excellent. Got to stay hydrated. Oh, says it gave me the pop up in level 8.
Oh, I think maybe he means like Windows Update or something.
Oh boy.
Or your computer is now restarting. That would be terrifying to see in the middle of a match for sure. But it looks like everything is okay now, and
Everything's good.
both players have readied up, I believe, and we're gonna count it down very shortly.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, and pills.
All right, let's see the top lines here.
Oh, I love this first pill for Ramsey. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, that
I love that.
100%. Yeah, JB also looking to actually have a pretty decent bit of variety on his board there, making a nice triple combo.
Yeah, I do not love the lack of variety and the shape of Ramsey's board right now because it's just very seems very column heavy, very vertical heavy, and not a
Lots,
lot of diversity.
yeah, lots of different elevations and not a lot of access to red, but he's getting good pills, I think, to get through it. A lot of double yellows, some blue pills here. So I think he's not gonna find too much trouble with the way his board's set up here.
hmm We see him setting up for horizontals at the very bottom of the board to try to take care of that. A blue yellow will be awesome for him. And he's got plenty to work around in the meantime. And JB is yeah, they're basically in a dead heat right now. And JB working on a split board himself, but much more even in terms of elevation. So that's going to be less of a problem if he has some drop time.
Mhm. Yeah, finds a good red horizontal setup, but I think he's gonna run out of red. Oh, is he gonna do an L setup here? No, just takes the
Oh no.
horizontal. But that's okay. He has so few reds on the board that being efficient with them likely is not going to be a huge deal.
Ramsey gets a nice horizontal in the first row, and he's setting up for another one with those blues. And I think it's a great idea for, take notice if you're a new player to prioritize clearing blue because blue has the most viruses left on the board as of that point. So make sure you try to get as many of those off as you can. And JB out at about a 150, 149.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I just missed it. I was just trying to see how Ramsey's endgame was going to work out. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to take it vertically here. Just keep it simple, and he's going to make it out at 211 or 212, I believe. But
hmm
yep, looks like JB almost halfway through 9 at this point, but running into a serious yellow drought here.
Oh, yeah, not looking too good. We want to see a lot of red and blue for JB. And so anything that's yellow is going to be used for building building combos and opportunities with the other colors.
Yes, as you can see on his board right now, where he's getting several double yellows in a situation where he can't really do much about it.
I just had a moment where I could only look in amazement as Ramsey had a giant stat log up at the top of the board. So that was I did not miss that. That was pretty great.
Yes, that's the rule. The higher up on the board it is, the more swag it is.
hmm
Still yellow trouble for JB here. Just doing the best that he can. It's unfortunate to see it. The game just refuses to cooperate here.
hmm
But yeah, he's gonna clear some more yellows out down to just a single one, and he's really gonna want to see a lot of blue and red, which he looks like he's starting to.
Luckily, yeah, because that column two, you hate to see that there are those two reds stacked up on top of each other, but he's got a good horizontal opportunity on the bottom there, and he's probably going to take it. A nice double vertical with the blues. So he is cleaning out really quickly.
Yep, just needs two more red pill halves, and he'll be into level 10.
Now, Ramsey's in a bit of a pickle here. Notice that right hand side is kind of curled, tucked up underneath some reds that have some garbage on them. So it's going to be a little bit difficult until he just decides that he is going to clear out that yellow garbage, which he does decide to do that. Um, yeah, so things are going to be buried. But notice he's going to use this blue excellently to clear out those blues. And now the rest of the blues that he gets can be used as platforms for other stuff.
They're gonna have to be because it's just a red board at this point.
hmm
He without reds, there's nothing more he can do to make progress. He's gonna get a sweet drop cross though to clear everything
Yeah.
above those yellows. And as long as he gets the reds that he needs, he'll be following behind JB very shortly
hmm
here.
Speaking of the reds he needs, JP's working on his own red situation right here. The only blues are sort of tucked up underneath those yellows. And so the most efficient thing to do if you had the platform would be to try to get those yellows horizontally, but it might not be might not be worth it.
No, and I think he's agrees with you because he's going to take that right yellow virus vertically, and he'll have to do the other one vertically as well. He's shaking his head. I think he really wanted to clear those efficiently and just was not able to.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ramsey's starting in on this level 10. He started at about a 16 virus deficit, which is what he sort of had at the end of the level before. So he's basically about the same. Trying to tuck under, and it looks like he's trying to hold out to get those blues in
Oh.
column 1, but that is a big misdrop for Ramsey, and so high up on the board, it's gonna be tough to clear.
And given his position right now, he's about 20 viruses behind. He only has about a level and a half to go. You can't if you want to make this comeback. That sort of thing is not going to help you.
Mhm. I'd love to see a double yellow there for him. Oh, yes! Commentator's blessing! What up?
That
Yes! Go, Ramsey, go!
was a
Anyway.
great setup. It's yeah. Now he's suddenly looking much better.
Yes, excellent. So JB working on his last half a dozen viruses. Things are looking pretty good, although that blue there in column 4 is gonna be the pain point for him. He does have the option, if he clears out this yellow, to build up a nice horizontal setup, and then he won't have to worry
Yeah.
about it. But now
I
these
think
yellows in columns 6 and 8 are the things he has to watch out for.
all right. Well, we have the blue fat log for that. We have two more yellows here, one more yellow here, and oh, I think he did not mean to do that given his reaction, but that's okay. He gets the next yellow pretty quick, and he's going into the final level at 648. He's a level away from taking this home.
Yeah, very nicely done. Ramsey working on his last 10 viruses, running up against some interesting setups with the yellow that's there. Yellow is the least prolific virus on color on the board, so he's using yellow pill halves for building other things. Looks like he might have some competing plans. Might be getting a little bit complicated with it as he goes through this lev.
Yeah, this end game's gonna be really tricky. Notably, the final blue virus that is just completely
Hmm.
surrounded by a lot of unlike colored pillow halves here.
Mm,
So he's gonna have to do some digging to get that out, whether he wants to clear it vertically or horizontally.
yeah, for sure. Meanwhile, JB on his last 30 viruses there. Nice combo for JB. And the only trouble he's going to have is making sure he knows what to do with his blue because they're just all crammed down there in the bottom of the bottle.
That's been the story of the bracket so far, honestly. I feel like we're broken
We're
records
just
here. We
saying
keep
that
saying
over
it.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. Just continually happening. But well, Ramsey's falling behind now at about 808, I believe it was. He has quite a hill to climb, but JB's board's starting to look a little complicated, starting to look a little more garbage filled than it was a moment ago. You never know. There's a lot of doubled viruses I'm seeing on Ramsey's board.
Mm,
I don't want to make any promises, but I'm not counting him out here. Let's just say that.
he's going to have a sweet drop to you in just a second. Look at that. He knows exactly what to do. Beautifully done by Ramsey. Now, the thing is, if I were Ramsey right now, I'd just try to be racing. I don't think I would be thinking too much about combos. I don't know about you.
I mean, yeah, I think that it's always easy to say that when you're not in the hot seat, but
True, true.
yeah, like you just when in his position, I wouldn't want to miss drop. But I feel like you're under pressure. It's on you to play perfectly to make the comeback. You get nervous. You don't want to make a
Hmm.
mistake, so it's totally understandable.
Yeah, JB down to his last six. It looks like he has the opportunity to take out this blue horizontally in the first row and can do the reds horizontally as well. And the setups are perfect for that. So he's probably going to be holding out for a yellow blue, and he gets it. You're welcome.
And that leaves him with one virus and two pill halves left, one pill half left. And that's
Hmm.
gonna do it. 944. JB Henry takes game two. And he's your November silver bracket champion.
Excellent. So JB scores 1 point towards our year end championship standings. It will not put him into the gold bracket, but it really must feel great to go out being the last silver champion of 2022.
20 Are you sure it's not 2021? Are you sure? We're
You
not.
know what? I paused for a second. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, it's
I
not
was
so
thinking,
easy, is it?
not so easy. True, Lev. So, Lev, thank you so much for coming, and thanks to all the commentators. We had JB, we had Betty, we had Blindo, and now you and me. It's been a great team.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so much fun to come back into the booth after not, being out of the game for a little bit, I guess you could say. I
Mhm.
enjoyed it a lot. It was great.
Great. So Ramsay finishing up this last virus. There he goes at a 1050. I think he improved a little bit on his first one.
I believe so,
Mm,
yeah.
Maybe like a couple seconds, or maybe the first one was 1048. Either way, pretty consistent. Yeah.
Uh,
So GG's to both players. Thank you, Ramsay, for this excellent run through the bracket. And again, congratulations, JB.